over the old paths, where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. From the prophet Jeremiah. Welcome to the Chasing Ebenezer show. We talk, we play you music, and encourage you to create. This season, we invite you to join us as we create around a central theme each episode. We encourage you to find the path by making.
Welcome to the Chasing Ebenezer show, everybody. I'm Benjamin, and this is Heidi, and we're in episode 5 of season 4. How you doing?
Well, I'm doing just fine right now.
Good. So far, we're doing good.
In
too.
this moment, I am perfectly fine.
Hopefully, you're doing well too. So we want to say thank you to our patrons. We would thank you pretty much every second of the show if we could, because your contribution and generosity has made it possible for us to continue to improve this show, improve our performances, and get this album done, which we're currently working on. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you haven't had a chance to listen yet to our latest single, which will be in our next album, Enemy, you can listen to it on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you stream music, or you can just do something old-fashioned and download an MP3 from our Bandcamp page.
I might not know how to do that.
I know.
I could probably figure it out, but I'm like, download it. How would I do that?
I remember, like, when I got my first iPod, you know, the one that you do the wheel?
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
it was so cool. And I kept thinking, this is so high-tech. I'm downloading an MP3, and now it's like, that's becoming vintage now.
I think you just made us sound really old, so.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. I don't feel old.
You don't look old either. You look great.
Oh, thanks.
So this season, the whole theme is finding the path by making. So we're trying to be a little bit more active in our creativity and learning stuff about ourselves. So I'll ask you, what is your creativity teaching you this month?
I really think it's a good idea to look back at things that I made a long time ago or wrote a long time ago, which is, so it's really cool. It can be a little scary and embarrassing, but it can also be surprising. And so I'm looking at some things I wrote a long time ago, and it's like, oh, this wasn't horrible.
This wasn't as bad as I remember.
This wasn't as bad. So it's nice to see. And I think sometimes when we're creative, we can get in this weird zone where we don't even remember that we made something. Like, I'll look back at notebooks or things. I'm thinking, when did I ever...
Who wrote this?
Who wrote this? Who drew this? So, and then I'm like, that was me. So I think it's good to reflect on the journey behind you and just see what's there.
I like it.
What's your answer to the question?
My answer is the value of showing up to make stuff. Because, like, that's my fear. It's so often very much I'll show up and, like, wondering, do I have anything to share?
You do.
Can I come up with something new? Like, even just working on the song for this show, I'm like, can I do it? Whenever I go out to film, am I going to find inspiration? And it may not always be what I expect it to be. In fact, very oftentimes it's not. But something happens when I start to work. Like, I've been trying to write a little bit more now. Since, the new year started, I'm trying to do creative writing, not just writing songs. And every time I've sat down to write, I may be experiencing a little bit of what you experience, that when I start writing, I'm like, all this stuff comes out that to me at the time seems brilliant. Now, I don't know if I go back and read it if I'll feel the same way, but it's like, wow, where did this come from? This is so cool. So yeah. I think for so long I've been trying to find a formula to generate work. And I'm finding that for me, that the creative process is more about going out and using my guitar or my instrument or my pen as a tool for digging for treasure.
And there might be
finding
some poop that you find along the way, but
That's true.
eventually there's going to be treasure. And what a segue!
Didn't you like that? I wasn't even planning. It just kind of as it happened. So if you tuned into our last show, the prompt for this month was the word treasure. And you can use that as a noun or a verb or whatever idea treasure sparks in you. So that's what we're going to talk about. And some of our work that we're going to share is going to be connected to that idea. So here we go. So when I think about treasure, I think about gold. I think about gold hidden somewhere that I have to go find.
I definitely had an intense fascination with Treasure Island growing up, and so I think about the story, and there was a level of intensity and emotion, and people would express sometimes violent things, volatile things to get this treasure. And so there's this passion that it can evoke when people are wanting to find something that they believe is there and they're not finding it, or someone is keeping them from getting it, or just that's the first thing that comes to mind from childhood.
Did you ever look for treasure when you were a kid or an adult?
Well, I think anytime you go to a thrift store, that's what you're doing. You're looking for the nuggets in the middle of all the old stuff.
Thrift stores, garage sales.
Garage sales. I'm pretty sure, though, as a kid, at least one time I think I remember in California, I think it was California, we panned for gold, and we tried to find it, or you find a rock like along the coast, and you're sure it's gold.
Mm-hmm.
It must be gold. It must be.
I remember I went with my grandfather out to like a farm somewhere because he went through this thing where he would do metal detection. And so he would always be trying to find like arrowheads or something. So, yeah. And sometimes, I don't know if this is how it feels for you, but just the search for treasure is what's so valuable. It's almost like that's the treasure in and of itself, is that looking for it, trying to find it. It's almost like the search for it is what affects you the most. It's what changes you. And I was thinking about this when it comes to art making. What happens when treasure goes looking for you? And what I mean by that is that very often when we're searching, or when it comes to art making, when we're trying to make that song or make that painting, we learn something about ourselves that's intensely valuable that we would never have gotten otherwise. What were some things you treasured as a kid?
Candy, and more candy. just being honest about that. massive jawbreaker. I would walk around for days
You
licking.
had ooh.
I know, and now that's my response. Oh, what? That's what I thought was so valuable.
What do you value as an adult now? What are treasure as an adult?
People, time, the things that I take for granted, like being inside on a cold night. It's definitely not candy. Most of the time, it's not candy.
Yeah, I loved action figures as a kid. There's still a part of me that when I see vintage action figures, I have a reaction. But I'm with you. I think some of the things that I deeply, deeply treasure and value are time with people I love, time outside, and time where there's nowhere I have to be and nothing I have to do.
When I'm thinking about treasure, I often think of looking at something that maybe appears to be past its use, past its beauty, and then refurbishing it or finding the good that's in it. And this is an old mandolin we had that was cracked and just doesn't play very well. And it's just so beautiful, the structure. And I thought, hey, let me see if I can cover up the crack, which I did with some paint chips with some texture, and let me create something beautiful, bring it back to life. So when I'm thinking about treasure, that's often what comes to mind. And there's also a really cool pink rotary phone that Ben got me. Bonus plug for Ben.
So when thinking of treasure, I often think about treasure hunting and that wonderful feeling and that awkward feeling of starting out. Every year for me is kind of like searching for new treasure, and so I've taken up the habit, or I'm attempting the habit, of writing creatively. And so this is a little poem about starting out. It's called Walking on Stones. It's inspired by the feeling of walking barefoot outside. Walking on stones. It's painful to become yourself. Virgin feet on knowing stone. With each newborn step, a stagger, an ache of unnatural welcome. Here you are, awkward and unashamed, feeling the earth as if for the first time again. Indigenous, but isolated from the rite of passage that comes from stumble beginnings. Sandstone and shale cry out, welcome home, beloved. Your maker just asks you to move and to be. To be is to become. One more step, 2 breaths, 3 witnesses, God, stones, and you.
Stare out the window. Something is calling me now, saying put on those shoes, boy. We're leaving for holy ground. I am a pilgrim. I've wandered a long way out, hobbled by cobblestones, blistered by madness and doubt. With step I move by what's moving me, this faceless treasure I seek. Follow the clues, will all that I lose, pale in the gift I receive. Onward and forward, my friends turn to strangers, can't look me in the eye. Well, the clearest of mirrors will peel away any disguise. They say follow the rules, stay in the lines, everything will be fine. Am I playing the fool, chasing the truth? Can't even see with my eyes. Portland to Portugal, so many roads I've Caminos, destinos, dig and just can't find my soul. It feels like I'm losing control. Looks like I'm just letting go. Feels like I'm losing control. This being still just a no. I am a pilgrim. My journey is never complete. You can't chase the end of searching infinity.
Well, that is our show. Hope you enjoyed it, and you are more than free to keep on creating based on treasure. But we do have some prompts.
I thought you were going to say you're free to say if you didn't like it. I mean, you're free to say it. We don't necessarily need you to say it.
No, I never encourage unsolicited. I
think we should say unsolicited from now on.
Almost unsolicited
because it has
feedback.
More impact.
Yeah.
Than
You
unsolicited
won't
versus
forget this part of the show now.
unsolicited.
You're welcome.
It sounds funner, unsolicited. Is
It sounds funner?
Funner's
No.
probably not a word. It is a word now.
Yeah, we invented 2 words right there. What
Brilliance.
creativity.
Brilliance is happening. What were you going to say? Prompts now?
I had a few prompts, yes. Okay, so for some continued prompts for this idea is the first one is to make a treasure chest. Okay, you can do that however you want, whatever materials you want, whether that's hardcore, wood, hinges and all that fun stuff. It could be just a little section of your house that you kind of like decorate, and this is where you put things that are important to you. But creating it, because treasure chests are interesting.
Idea.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. My folks, I was at my folks' house like last month, and they have this humongous old chest that they found. I found that they found like at an antique store a long time ago. And it is one of those staples from my childhood that every time I look, I'm like, oh, it's there. I'm not sure what they have in it right now.
Let us know.
but I could use my imagination.
Let us know. You could do a time capsule.
Yeah.
You could create a scavenger hunt.
Okay.
I loved scavenger hunts as a kid. And, you know, like where you were in two different teams. Did you
Yeah.
ever do that?
I did.
Oh, you apparently didn't enjoy it. It's okay.
You see, it
These are
requires-
prompts and ideas.
It requires urgency, and you know me.
That's
that
true.
urgency is not
What
one
if-
of my. I'd like to stroll for treasure.
So the goal would be to take the longest to find the items on the list.
I would win that every time. I would win it every time.
Do you have any more?
Yeah, my other thing was like as you go throughout the week, whether it's going for a walk in a place or if it this isn't an invitation to steal anything, but like
Well, that's
if you stumble
what
across,
a relief.
pay attention to the things that like make you pause, and if it's possible to collect those things and perfectly legal, then do that and put them in whatever chest that you create.
If you would like to take a walk to our garage, I will be more than happy for you to take something that's
There you
in
go.
it. These are good. These are good prompts
Maybe
that you
you should
came
do
up
some of
with.
them.
Maybe I should do some of them. I mean, because we created things, but I really like these prompts.
Yeah.
Good job, dude.
Anything else you can think of?
Are we supposed to say anything else?
You don't have to.
Is this the end?
This is the end. We have to talk about what the next word is.
Oh, okay.
I'll let you do it because you like saying the word. I do too.
Labyrinth.
Labyrinth.
I think we should say it labyrinth.
Labyrinth. That way we know.
Labyrinth.
Yeah, that's going to be your prompt. Whatever that sparks. I recommend you watch the movie? Oh, David Bowie's in the movie.
I like David Bowie, but
The puppets are awesome.
I've
There's
never
a
actually
puppet in the movie.
I've never actually seen the movie. Okay, here's what I'll do for you. Between now and when we air Labyrinth, I will watch the movie. And I will do my best, if it's not my favorite thing, to not crush on what you love. Because I like David Bowie and I like puppets, but I'm just not sure.
You'll like this one.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure you'll like it.
Okay, we'll see.
All right. Well, anyway, hey, that's our show. Enjoy creating, and we'll see you next time.